At the moment, we do know that the wave has impacted a number of villages on the coast, and as a result, a lot of people have moved inland and are still hesitant to move back down to the coast to assess the true damage.
And do we know at this point if those casualties were related to the earthquake or to the tsunami?
At the moment, I don't have that information. The information's come in via HF radio, which is the primary means of communication with the outer islands. And at the moment, the disaster management organisations are preparing to deploy assessment teams to clarify just exactly how many deaths and how those deaths took place and the true extent of the damage in those outer islands.
And at this point, what role is the Red Cross taking and other aid organisations? What do they need to do? And what's the extent of the damage there?
At the moment, we're still ascertaining just how many villages have been impacted, and that will determine the type of response that we undertake as Red Cross. We do expect it to be deploying an initial shelter support, which involves giving people a place to shelter in the short term while their houses are either rebuilt or reconstructed altogether. And often clean drinking water is a primary issue here in the Solomon Islands. So the Solomon Islands Red Cross deploys a water module together with health promotion personnel that ensure that any outbreak of disease is minimised.
And what sort of support will be given to those people who've been displaced? A number of them would be without homes at this point. So what sort of help will they get from the government and from aid groups?
There's definitely discussions happening right now with the National Disaster Management Office and partners in the Solomon Islands, such as the Red Cross, as to what needs people have at this point in time. The Solomon Islands is quite resilient in terms of the communities rallying around each other to support each other. So most recently we had a cyclone affect the islands, and we saw how those families that did lose their homes or maybe their personal belongings were provided with shelter supports and other support from their family and community. So in the interim, we expect for that to take place for this earthquake, and then for the government to do a proper assessment as to what the long-term needs will be.